When we migrate to cloud technologies, one of the things that we can't deny is that it's going to have a huge impact on our applications and our application developers. Let's review some of these key aspects in this nugget. One of the joys for our application development teams when it comes to cloud technologies is platform as a service. Just to give a quick example of this, here I am in Microsoft Azure, and notice that I have taken and spun up software that I might not have access to anymore in my corporate development environment, and that's Server 2008 R2. We are going way back in the time machine here to spin up this very early version of server technologies. Even though this server operating system from Microsoft feels somewhat antiquated to us, notice that we may need to develop applications against it still for a client that is still running that platform. So testing our applications against this early operating system is a breeze thanks to Azure. When it comes to the development of the software itself, keep in mind that the cloud can really change things. When you look at traditional software development, most typically used what was called a waterfall approach. They would go through these steps as if it was water falling down a waterfall. They would conceive a new app, initiate the new app development. They would analyze the requirements that they would need to then design, construct the app, test the app, move the app into production, and then maintain the app. Cloud technologies make it so that a lot of the components that an application that we're developing might need are already constructed. So many times, compared to the traditional waterfall approach, we find with cloud technologies that we are selecting modules of pre-existing software services and assembling them together. While many of the phases of the traditional waterfall approach would still apply, typically we're moving through them much more quickly, and some phases of the waterfall approach we're skipping altogether. Something else that might be revamped a little bit is the overall application architecture. Remember, in traditional environments, we would typically build applications in layers. There'd be a client piece, a presentation piece, business logic components, and then the underlying database, if databases are needed in the application. When you look at more modern application architectures that take advantage of cloud, something that you're going to notice is we, again, are tending to build based on application building blocks and services, and the locations of these building blocks might vary dramatically. Some of them might be local, but oftentimes we're going to have these building blocks in the cloud. Also, the target platform for the application, that location we know is oftentimes going to change. Many times this is anywhere access on any device, and an internet connection might be the only required ingredient. Now, there is a consistency, though, when it comes to application architectures and the traditional versus the cloud, and that is we tend to be still in a service-oriented architecture approach, where we are constructing the application based on the building blocks that are services, and we know that more so than ever with cloud technologies, it is web-based services and web-based APIs, and this has been a trend in traditional application architectures for quite some time. So in that respect, not much changes when it comes to developing our applications for the cloud. So it's important to realize that the cloud can have a tremendous impact on the development and maintenance of applications that our app developers are working with. Platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and software as a service all could have profound impacts on the more traditional development layers and traditional development phases that we are used to. I hope you found this nugget informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.